Good evening. Welcome to the No Anonymity Podcast. Back with another episode. Tonight we got a very special guest be joining us shortly. But as I always do around this time, get this camera situated. Yeah, it's good. Cologne of the day. This is by Abercrombie and Fitch. This is our first intense tonight. Yeah, it's a crazy name. Yeah. First intense tonight. Let me show you guys the bottle. Classic bottle. Smells amazing. Smells amazing. And remember, guys, what I told you. Typically, any cologne that's in a blue bottle, that comes in a blue bottle, is going to smell phenomenal. Phenomenal on your skin. Just wash. Make sure you wash and put it on, man. It's amazing. I think I picked this up for about $19. You can go pick this up. Again, this is Abercrombie and Fitch. This is first. My glasses and still can't see. This is first intense together. It's a crazy name. But yeah, check it out. Very good cologne. Smells amazing. Yeah. You should have called it first interaction together, but I don't know. But smells amazing. Go pick that up at your local retailers tonight. Everybody that's coming over, I want you to please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share this video. And we'll get started shortly. Just had to get that little introduction out of the way. And who had any trouble with their T-Mobile service or AT&T service today? It's a test for sure. Drinking some kombucha. It's a good probiotic gut check for tonight. See if we get this camera right. Get this camera right. Build it as we fly. I see so many people trying to be so perfect in everything they do. It's crazy. Like, just if you're gonna do something, just do it. Just go ahead and do it. Stop procrastinating. Everything can't be super perfect. But I am so honored and pleased to have our next guest that's coming up tonight. We'll give him a minute to chime in. Give you folks some time to chime in. Should be a good show. Should be a real good show. Let's see. Yeah, appreciate the 2 people watching. Give them some time. I actually supposed to start 7 their time, which is 6 my time, but I had to come on a little earlier just to do my little interlude and do the cologne of the day. I need a sponsor, cologne sponsor. All these colognes these jewels I'll be dropping on y'all. Yeah. Yeah, Abercrombie and Fitch. It's pretty good. It smells awesome. So we'll give people some time to come in here. As you see from the title, we're supposed to have the WCW, WWE living legend himself stopping by the podcast tonight. We're going to talk a lot of things, not just wrestling, but sports in general. Maybe touch on a few politics. Who knows? Stevie Ray is a very knowledgeable and educated man. He can talk about anything. Love talking to the brother. Had a phone conversation with him. Very knowledgeable man. And it's my honor to have him on the show tonight. Just going to wait and let folks check in. See who's in the building. Should be on here shortly. And we'll do this one. Yeah. They finally charged the judge who shot her boyfriend while he was sleeping. My man woke up blind in one eye. If you up to speed with the story, um, she asked him, "What did he do to himself?" Shoots the man in the head while he's sleeping. Must have been a 22 for him to wake up like that. I don't know what she shot him with exactly, but she was charged today. Judge out of PA. She's out of PA. So, is anybody chiming in yet? All right, 7 o'clock is the mark. My boy said he's on. I don't see him. Let me see. It's always coming in the back chat. The back. Let me see if he's on private. Let's see. Don't see you. Don't see you, my brother. Where you at? There you go. Stevie Ray, the living legend himself. How you doing, my brother? Stevie, can you hear me? Oh, he got to put his headphones on. How you doing, my brother?
What's up, brother?
What's going on? Such a privilege and honor to have you on the show tonight.
Okay, great. I appreciate it.
How you been doing?
Good, man. Good.
Good. Did you experience any of the tests that they're giving us with the phones not working this morning?
You know what? I don't know, man. I don't know. I was trying to use my phone earlier. Then all of a sudden, it wouldn't call out. Then all of a sudden, my daughter texts me. And after she texts me, everything started working. So I really don't know. I don't know if it was my phone or just me not knowing what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah, it was a phone. It was a shortage. Have you?
No,
have you seen?
I heard about that. You know,
Yeah.
but I didn't know. I wasn't getting any. Nothing was coming up over my phone. You know, like different things on social media, this, that, and the other. So I don't know. It might have been out, but I wasn't paying attention to it because it was this morning.
Yeah. Did you? I had a whole bunch of questions for you, but I threw it all away because I said you probably so sick of answering the same question prior to me and you speaking on the phone. I said, you know what? We're just gonna have a conversation. He's well knowledgeable about a burst of things, and I appreciate that. So we're just gonna shoot from the hip with this podcast, if you don't mind. I might do a couple of interactions with the wrestling thing and stuff like that. But for the people that don't know who you are, this man is a living legend, an icon in the sport of professional wrestling. This is Stevie Ray on the show tonight, man. And I really appreciate you stopping by. I got one more person supposed to be popping up, but I don't see him. Did you see the movie Leave the World Behind?
No.
Wow, you got to see it. And it just goes back to what's going on right now. They testing us with this phone thing because it was strategically planned where they cut these phones off at New York, Chicago, Detroit. You see what I'm saying?
I didn't even know they were off. A buddy of mine. Well, I guess I did get some on social media because that was early this morning. A buddy of mine, he's in Memphis. I seen him post something about if you got AT&T, your phone is out, and they got me. So I was like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just read it, but I didn't think nothing of it, you know, but it was that was early this morning. But my phone started acting up last night, but I don't know if it had anything to do with the phone outage thing. I'm not sure. My phone started acting up last night. Then again, sometimes they do stuff like that and you just got to reset it, turn it off, turn it back on, and everything's working again. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Like I said, my daughter texted me and I was like, thought my phone wouldn't work because I had to come up here and use my office phone. This phone right here to try to call her to let her know I was going to be doing some things and I couldn't get rid of it till later. But then all of a sudden she texts me and I'm like, oh, my phone wasn't working. Guess it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. That I don't know the extent of it. I don't have AT&T, so I don't know if it was all phone systems, because a lot of phone systems might go through AT&T, but they not AT&T.
Yeah, it was
Could be on
AT&T.
the same network. Yeah.
Yep. T-Mobile. And they telling people go use your landline. Everybody don't have a landline. I don't have a landline.
Come on. I mean, why would somebody have to tell you what to do?
Yeah.
If you already got a landline, why would somebody have to tell you go do something like that if your phone ain't working?
Right.
I mean, if you see what I'm saying, really?
Yep.
That's just like if your car ain't working and you got 2 cars, what you gonna do?
Yeah, you're gonna grab the other one. Right.
I mean, I need the government to tell me what I already know. They don't have any phone booths anywhere anymore.
Right.
Go use the landline. Lord Jesus Christ, man. God.
Yeah. But I got to see some of your show. You got a good show going on over there.
Yeah, we're getting ready to start a new show, bro.
Really?
It's gonna be off the hook. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pertaining to what? More wrestling?
Actually, what we're gonna I'm gonna be talking about more wrestling. And I'm trying to put another deal together to present to AEW.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so we're working on that right now, me and a couple of my compadres.
That'll be good. Hold on, somebody want me to send a link, but that'll mess me up if I try to send them the link while I'm on with you. Come on now. Yeah, we're gonna have to work that out.
Oh yeah, you can't send. Yeah, I can send my link while I'm talking. I'm on StreamYard also.
Oh, you can send. So
yeah, I send link.
You just hit the invite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see.
Oh, okay. Invite and then go to email.
Okay, let me do that right quick. Let me do that. Here we go. But see, I can't see you now. Hold on, let me see.
No, you won't be able to see me for a minute. Then once you do everything, then just come back.
Okay. Man.
There's been a couple of times because I do a live show. And it's been a couple of times I got cut off and just got to redo everything again.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. But yeah, okay, I just got that out the way. But yeah, I appreciate it. One thing I wanted to ask you about, when did you see the video that just resurfaced with Killer Mike telling the kid that he couldn't be president?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he told the little black kid. The little black kid said he wanted to be a president. Killer Mike said, "No, you might want to go to trade school." I'm like, "She."
No, wow.
Damn.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, but he told the other little kid went on there and he told him that the kid said that he wanted to fly a spaceship into the moon. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, I tell you what, you have a better chance of flying a spaceship to the moon than becoming president.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. But tell you the truth, then again, once you think about it, did anybody ever really go to the moon? Do we really know?
Nope. They just landed some robot tonight on the moon. So allegedly that's what they said they did. But I'm like, yeah, come on.
Yeah, they ran one on Mars too.
Yeah.
Jupiter, Uranus. I mean, the robots have been everywhere. I'm talking about human beings. Because from what I've read, I read a lot. But from what I read, man cannot get through the Van Allen belt. Too much radiation. So with all that being said, how can you have old technology go through some, but new technology can't even come back into orbit without blowing up?
Right.
That's just a theory. That's just a question, that I've asked a lot of people.
Stud, thank you for joining us, man. You was having some technical difficulty. What was going on?
I was, but we figured it out. What's up, Stevie Ray?
How you doing, brother? How you doing?
Man, can't call it, man. Another
Who's
day.
that in the background, man?
That's my son. That's Diesel Stokes. He's actually ranked number 2 in the nation right now, doing very well. Stevie, and he's
good for him. He's good for him, man. Good for him, brother. I like to hear that.
Thank you. He's a big fan of Harlem Heat too. So
hey, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. That's his godfather right there. So you know.
Okay. Nephew, what's up?
I hear you.
Yeah. What's up? Oh man. Yeah, I told Steve. I told him I had a bunch of questions, but I don't want to bore him with the same old wrestling questions. So I'm just swinging from the hip because he's
Well,
a very knowledgeable man.
I'll be honest with you, brother. That's why I really don't do. I think I told you that the other day. That's why I really don't do a lot of podcasts because, there's a lot of people trying to get stuff off the ground. They figure you come in, and if I got to answer a bunch of regurgitated questions, you got to pay me.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I don't do them because I can talk about I can talk about my life, my history, my career, all that stuff on my own podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Do that on my own because I do mine. Then I do another with a couple of guys. Then I do another one with Vince Russo on Thursdays, and we talk about different things like that sometimes. So I then on my Patreon and all that, then I can reap the benefits from it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of giving it to somebody else and then they go, so if you ever see any clips pop up of me, somebody paid for it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Other than you one of them. You one of the last of the Mohicans.
Hey, I appreciate it too. Yeah, I appreciate it. Oh man. Yeah.
Really. So what you asked him? What you asked him so far?
We was talking about did he experience anything with the phone shortage? They planned that, man. That was strategically planned.
Now, why do you say that? Oh, has the show started yet?
Yeah, we live.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And why do you say that? Because I'm interested in
well,
your opinion on that.
I'm a big conspiracy theorist when it comes to a lot of things. In this country in particular. They cut the phones off in certain cities, certain areas, certain metropolitan cities. It was SOS. Nobody could use their phone. You couldn't talk. You couldn't text. But then I always revert back to movies in Hollywood. They always have to tell you what they're gonna do first. They don't get all that bad karma back. So when did you see the movie Leave the World Behind? They did that same thing. They cut the phones off. And let me play this clip for you 1 second. Let me play this clip for you, just to give you some context of what I'm saying. This. This was on the World News tonight. Hold on a second.
Tonight, sources just telling ABC News they now believe it was an AT&T software update that brought the phones down. The outages rippling across the country. You can see the map there showing the most affected cities, including Los Angeles, Houston, Chicago, and Miami.
Oh,
AT&T
Houston,
tonight saying service has been restored, but for many hours, some users were told if you have an emergency, call on a landline. But what about the many Americans who no longer have a landline? And authorities are now asking tonight, was this sort of a wake-up call? What if the threat had been worse? Rebecca Jarvis leading us off tonight.
You see what I'm saying? So I said that to say that they're telling you to prepare. They always tell us that. Go prepare. And they put it out through propaganda, through Hollywood, through songs and TV. But we so dumb. We so too busy buying Jordans and shit. Not going to pay any attention. You should have batteries in your house, flashlights in your house, canned goods in your house, water put up in your house, blank. You should have all these things in place.
Right.
And I go back to the Katrina thing, man, which made me cry. Brothers running in stores, grabbing 60-inch TVs and
and
Jordans. And where you going?
Where you going with it?
Right.
You can't even use it.
and that right there showed them that we're not prepared for a lot of things. A lot of people are not.
Well, that's the thing, man. When you bombarded with some of the most inverted, when you're bombarded with so much propaganda and you believe everything you're being told instead of everything that you read, as long as you're being fed garbage, you'll always be ready to eat garbage.
Right.
But a true man within himself always knows to take care of his temple first. And that also means your brain.
That's right.
That also means your brain.
Yeah.
This stuff is as old as the crucifixion. The more crap you feed people, the more you control them. Nothing happens by accident. Nothing. Nope. It's always someone behind it. And I got that quote from Colonel L. Fletcher Prouty, a person, a military liaison to the Pentagon, who was in the Air Force years ago. I read a lot of his stuff. And this is what he talks about. He's in that business. If you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
He's in that business. So when you see things that is, levied upon us, it's not an accident. It's not you can always see the plight of a people by the music that they sing.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
You can always see the plight of a people by the music that they listen to. So if you don't have anything within you to uplift your fellow man, you can't expect someone to go out and be a critical thinker or somebody that's going to do the most responsible things in life.
Right.
As it pertains to what they need in their homes. If a situation come up, you can't. You can't. It's impossible.
Right.
They are functioning people, but they are functioning in an inverted state of mind. And that when wrong becomes right, and when everything's inverted within your mindset, what's the next outcome? It's what you see.
Right.
There's profit in illiteracy. There's profit in poverty.
Dang. That's deep. I just did a whole podcast on education. Wow.
But this is the thing. Me and Vince Russo do a podcast together, Black and White. And I was discussing this with you guys the other day. And the reason I wanted to do a podcast with him is so I can go out of my way and try to educate people of non-color that what you think you don't know, you don't know.
Right.
And I'm going to show you you don't know. I'm going to teach you you don't know. I'm going to verbally, structurally show you you think you all of that because of your educational system. So like I told Vince, there's certain things that you don't know about me. We've been friends for 20-something, 27 years, whatever. But you don't know me. Because in your world, you're not trained to want to know anybody because you are educated by the same system that I'm educated by.
Right.
That same system. We can sit in the same classroom and get two totally different outlooks from the same class.
Yeah.
That's the American educational system. It teaches you to feel superior. It teaches me to feel inferior.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that.
Now, you'll get professors out here that will, argue that. But all you got to do is look at the results.
Right. The outcomes. Right.
That's all you have to do. I say you can pass by my hood, but you'll never go in my hood. That ain't the same thing. I said you can know me by working with me, but you never structurally try to understand the plight of the Black man, other than what you learn in your educational system that they really don't teach. So what do you know about me? You know that I can dance from television. You know that I can play sports from television. You know I can dress a certain way and talk a certain way and have a certain swag. But is that really me? Is that really me? Right. Is that really my people? How many episodes of Good Times can you really watch?
Yep.
Because you don't really get what the TV show is talking about.
Nope.
You just see this is a family in poverty and they're trying to get up the ladder like most people. So that becomes a norm to you. That's all of us.
Right.
I said, but like I told him, it's not your fault, man. It's not your fault. It's the educational system. And not only that, it's the media.
Yeah.
It's, movies, TV, whatever, music. And that's how you know me. So in essence, do you really know me? No.
Yeah.
And then, after about a year and a half of doing the show, he called me up one day and said, man, I just want to tell you something, brother. I've never had anybody explain racial relations racial relations to me the way you have. And I just want to thank you for that. I've never thought about none of the stuff you're telling me. This is a white guy saying this. Because I say, even black, just because I'm black, that still don't mean I know how to talk about race.
Right.
I tell you, white people got it messed up. Just because they see a black person, that he can elocute points on what real race or racism is. He doesn't know either. Anybody can say somebody called me the N-word.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah.
But I say, but how did it start? Where does the word race come from? I said, do you know that? You know, so I said, you know, it was a time in this country there were no categories. Many years ago, there were no categories. But there are now.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So, you know, those are some of the in-depth conversations we've had on the show. Not in a super serious way, but I keep everything light and to a point, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't become, you know what I'm saying, sticky.
Right. Uncomfortable. Yeah.
Right. And uncomfortable and stuff like that. Great word. So, you know, and that's why the show has been so successful, man. We get emails. From people, you know what I'm saying? And mostly white people listen to a show, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
And they, you know, I've had so many people want to do, you know, consultations. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I have to charge them, you know what I'm saying? But I just want to sit down and talk, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I never heard anybody talk like that. I've learned so much from you, this, that, and the other. I'm like, wow, brother, I guess I'm making a dent, man. But this is just me.
Yeah.
This is just me. It's always been me. That people so used to seeing the angry big black guy. You know what I'm saying? I gotta hold on to this belt. I gotta talk that lip, man. You know what I'm saying? That's my job, dog. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you know, I'm not that guy. I'm that guy when it's time to be that guy, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm not that guy on a daily basis, man. You know.
Right.
That's my boys hitting me right now that I was telling you about.
Oh, okay.
That we are going to do a new podcast together. I'll send you this.
Yeah, send that to me. I'll definitely subscribe.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But yeah, man, that's what we're dealing with, man, as a people, man. We're seeing, you know, I just actually believe we are a nation within a nation. And we're seeing the erosion slowly but surely, inch by inch, step by step. We're seeing that, man.
Yeah.
And it's disturbing. It's really disturbing to me anyway.
What Stevie Ray, what do you think about maybe you don't, maybe you do, but what do you think about this election that's going on? How do you think that's going to pan?
This is what I told people. Matter of fact, on the podcast with Vince in the last election, 2020, October 2020, I told Vince, I said, you know, it's been 4 years, man. I've been trying to figure this whole Donald Trump thing out. I said, I think I finally got it figured out. He said, what do you think? I said, my older brother is a political science major. My older brother was a school valedictorian. My older brother went to college and graduated in 3 years. My older brother was a political science major. My older brother, you know what I'm saying? That's the stuff he was into. And when I was a kid, he used to talk to me about certain things. I didn't listen, man. You know what I'm saying? That's went in one ear, went out the other.
Yeah.
You know, and then years later, I started remembering some of the stuff he was talking about, even when we started having conversations, so on and so forth like that. So then I started to study what politics was about. You know what I'm saying? What's really behind certain politics? And over the years, I really kind of got into it. And I have my own viewpoint about it, so on and so forth. But I was trying to put this whole thing together about Donald Trump being elected to the president of the United States, the most powerful country on earth, the beacon of democracy, of which every other country on earth looks up to. And then you put this guy in charge. So I always ask myself, is something wrong with this picture? Nothing against the man. I'd have met the man.
Oh, wow.
Okay? Nothing against the man.
Yeah.
You know, I look at him as Donald Trump like everybody else did. You know what I'm saying? Doing his thing as a rich guy, so on and so forth. You know, was always, you know, doing the sporting events, boxing, wrestling, you know, all this stuff. You know, so you see him in the videos, you see him in the movies, you see him in all this other stuff. So I looked at him like that. But then, if you go back before the 2015 elections, when I was a kid, man, if anybody said anything demonstrative in any way, shape, or form about a sitting president, you had the FBI knocking on your door.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys can remember those days.
Yeah.
That's how it used to be. You had people that were saying, you know, uncomfortable things about 9/11. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
In a public setting. They had the FBI knocking at their door. So I was asking myself, how can a man go on national television and say demonstrative things about a sitting president, and the television station let him do it? Do y'all remember that? When he was going around saying that Barack Obama was not legitimate and wasn't born here in the United States of America.
Yeah, he wanted to see his birth certificate.
So how can I let you, how can you go on a television show and say this and they let you? You can't do that.
Right.
You can come on and disagree with policy, but you can't come on and say something demonstrative about a sitting president on a nationally televised show. If you come on and say, hey, Donald, what you going to talk about there? I'm going to talk about the president being not born here in the United States. Man, get out of here. Get him out of here. Get him out of the studio. That's what happens. But it didn't happen. Why? Which means, like I say, L. Fletcher Prouty preaches, something is behind it. Yeah. So in essence, you're being groomed to be what? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
To get away with demonstrative speech, which goes against everything I've seen since I was a little kid. Okay, they put you out here. You become the president. We've seen people running for president get kicked out, or nobody wants to hear anything they got to say because they got that much baggage. That much. An affair, or he looked at a woman the wrong way, or one of his old businesses had something wrong, little stuff. But here comes a man with more baggage than Brutus. Okay, he's got more baggage than anybody that ever walked the face of the earth, and nobody cares. It's not even brought up. The baggage is not even brought up. Okay, he becomes president, and after 4 years, I don't know what it was to put him in office, but anybody know anything about the political system in the United States of America? It's been ran by a two-party system for over 150 years.
Right.
If you're not in that game, you're not one of us. How do we let you in? How does that happen? Of all people on earth, this guy. So you got to ask yourself, why? Why? Because we needed the right guy at the right time to do the right thing for our agenda.
Right.
We need someone who's actually going to believe he's running things.
And he sure do.
But behind the scenes, whatever agenda that they needed for those 4 years, I don't know if it had something to do with the pandemic. I don't know if it had something to do with the separation of the races and stuff like that, because you had 8 years of Obama, which you got a black guy in office for 8 years, which shows the world that maybe people coming together is a good thing. So we need somebody to get in there to make everything go back this way.
Yeah, the opposite. You know,
because a real politician cannot say Mexicans are sending their worst people. They're bringing crime. They're bringing drugs. See, a real politician can't go, I'm going to do a Muslim ban on countries in the middle. See, a real politician can't do that. You know why? He's done. If you say anything bigoted, if you say anything racist, you're done as a politician. So we need somebody outside the box. This is just my theory. I'm not saying I know everything. This is just a theory.
Right.
So let's move forward to 2020. This is why I said, Vince, I've been trying to figure it out. And I told him everything we just discussed. And I said, come November, Donald Trump is going to lose the election. And he said, well, how do you know that? I said, because when I was a kid, it was a cartoon that I used to watch. The cartoon was called Tutor Turtle. Tutor, like being taught.
Yeah.
Tutor Turtle. I said, Tutor was really, really inquisitive. So he would go to the wizard and ask Mr. Wizard about different historical things. And Mr. Wizard would say, Tutor, for your edification, I'm going to send you back to that time in history so you can learn. And Tutor would always mess up and get into some trouble. But he about to be in the middle of a war. Or he's about to be in the middle of something that's going to get him, messed up. And he would start screaming and hollering, Mr. Wizard, Mr. Wizard. So Mr. Wizard knew he can hear him hollering, even though he back in time. And Mr. Wizard would say, twizzle, twaddle, twaddle, thrum. Time for this one to come home. And he would bring him back. Right before the soldiers and stuff get him, right before they're about to get him, they bring him back.
Right.
And I say, that reminds me of Donald Trump. That's why he's going to lose the election, because his job is done like Tutor Turtle. They used him for what they wanted to use him for. And I said, after he loses the election, this is no lie. I can get the tape and send it to you. I say the United States government is going to come after him and every single one of his cohorts that was with him.
That's what they're doing.
Next thing you know, January 6th happened. Then Vince had to come on the show and he said, man, you called it, bro. I said, I'm no prophet, but I can read between the tea leaves, brother. Nothing like L. Fletcher Prouty always said, nothing on this earth, especially at that level, happens by accident. Right. Someone is behind it. That's just what I've read from somebody that worked in black ops, that worked in coup d'etats, that worked in assassinations. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So this dude ain't no joke. So I'd rather believe him than MSNBC, CNN, Fox, and everybody else. I'd rather believe him.
Right.
So when you ask me about the election, that's what I'm saying.
So,
and how do they try to hurt you nowadays? They can't assassinate you like they did Martin Luther King, or like they did John F. Kennedy or Robert F. Kennedy or Malcolm X. They can't assassinate you anymore.
Right.
What they do is kill your character and take every dime you got.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
That's assassinations today.
And those are dangerous.
but I'm not saying I know that. That's just my theory. I don't know if it's true or nothing like that. I mean, I'm just saying.
Do you believe that the influx of migrants that we're having over here? I watched an interview with one, and he said something that stuck out to me. He said,
"What's that?"
What they told me was a lie, and I'm wondering who is they and what did they tell you? You think it was planned for them to come over here like this?
The whole migrant thing is something if people really pay attention, people's attention spans are so short.
Oh yeah.
Every few years, there is some big outbreak of something that want to curtail people and bring out the bigotry and racism and separate the public. That's all this is, man. Since when you live in the in a country that prides itself on saying land of the free and home of the brave, and now you scared of them, and now you scared of a Mexican man coming across some water?
Right.
Really? And then call it an invasion?
Yeah, that's what they calling it. Yeah.
Really? When did the pussies, where the pussies come from? I'm just being honest. I mean, when did this happen? That the bravest dudes in the world that attack a sovereign nation, kill 1.5 million people, don't give a damn about them. Now, all of a sudden, you scared of a Mexican man? And he bringing drugs? And who's the biggest purveyor of drugs on earth? Right here in the United States? Are we kidding? So you want me to believe somebody really scared of them? We need to check the border. We need to stop the migrants. Oh, brother, I mean, I don't even get caught up in that because I know what's going on.
Right.
I just don't go along with the group, bro. I just don't. It's something behind everything. All of a sudden, how many years Mexicans been leaving that part of South America and coming to the United States, man?
Since I've been, long as I've been alive, 49 years.
Long as this country been here.
Right.
Now all of a sudden we scared. You scared of the Canadian man? What about the Canadian man? There's a board up there too, isn't it?
Right.
Migrant is a migrant, whether it's 100,000 of them or 100. What about that?
Right. Well, but what do you think the agenda is? Why are they?
I don't know. Like I say, it's to keep you. It's always misdirection. Always.
Yeah.
And you got to realize who's pumping that. It ain't the left. It's the right. So to keep their base angry, to keep their base bigoted, to keep their racism going in their hearts, of which they put Donald Trump in office for. Like I said, a real politician can't do that. So they have to do it this way. You start the influx and you start the narrative and you keep saying it over and over and over and over again. And the dumbest of the dumb, the stupidest of the stupid, the imbecilic of the imbecilic will believe it. It's old as the crucifixion, bro. That is why I sit back and watch the news. And the news is nothing but
propaganda.
No, to me, the news is just entertainment. It's pro wrestling. I get my pro wrestling from life. I don't even get it from pro wrestling no more.
Right.
Yeah. That's just me though. What do I know? Like I always tell people, what do I know? But I haven't been wrong about nothing I've told anybody. Nothing. Not yet. Not saying that I know anything. Like I said, I just know how to read between the tea leaves, bro. You can't, like I say on my show, I'm like Magneto. You ever seen Magneto on X-Men?
Oh yeah, yeah.
When he put that helmet on, you know, when he put that helmet on, Mr. X can't mess with him. So like I said, I always got the helmet on. So don't try to get in my head, X. You ain't having it. I ain't having it. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here. I ain't having that. I do my own thinking, brother. I do my own homework.
Yeah.
I ain't got enough time. I do my own homework, bro. But I'm not. I mean, come on, man. Joe Biden, this racist thug. I don't care nothing about Democrats or or Republicans. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care anything about any of them. I'm a registered independent. Why would I vote? Why would I vote for somebody who acts like he gives a damn about me, or vote for somebody that I know he don't give a damn about me? It's pro wrestling.
Right.
But that's just me. I ain't saying politicians bad or good. I just think they're like the home team and the away team. I'm writing a book right now while I chronicle so much of this stuff as it pertains to our everyday life and how everything out there has stolen, bitten, jacked from professional wrestling and made it a reality.
Mm.
So this whole thing we're seeing right now, especially with politics, is a reality show. The ratings have never been higher on cable news until Donald Trump came in. Have you noticed that?
Mm. It's a good point.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen somebody campaign for the presidency of the United States for 4 years? Dude been doing rallies for 4 years.
That's a good question.
That's the money grab, baby. That's the money grab.
He dropping shoes.
I'm gonna take every dime you got. Yeah, well, how the economy bad and you selling $400 shoes?
Right.
But I seen everybody dumping on LeVar Ball when he had some shoes. What's with that?
Yeah,
the brother can't sell no shoes.
You're right.
Bro, I just tell it like it is, bro. I just tell it like it is. But you put this garbage gold crap out here and want $400. I'd rather go to Walmart and get some shoes.
That's what you charge.
Yeah, you charge $3.99.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
For sneakers.
Yeah, with a T on the side. Come on, man.
And a flag.
On a flag. They gonna sell out though. They gonna sell. And you know, did you see the news clip? And they said more black people. Anchor said a lot of blacks gonna vote for Donald Trump because he's selling shoes. We love shoes.
No,
sounded so ignorant. I wish I had that clip. I didn't get the clip.
But you know, that's the propaganda that they put out there.
Mm.
Yeah. That's
you know, I mean, brother, all this stuff is what we call in the wrestling business a work.
Mm. A spot. That's the spot.
Yeah. That was a spot. That was a high spot right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The shoes was a high spot.
Now, Sleepy Joe, he got to come with one. I never heard a president curse before on TV like Joe Biden. What's going on with that?
He's probably going through a mental breakdown, brother. I don't know. This guy, you know, I don't think this guy can make it through another. I mean, dog, they already setting up either Gavin Newsom out there in California or
Kamala.
Or Kamala Harris. You know, they're already setting that. I mean, these people ain't dumb. They know what's up, bro.
Yeah, they know.
They wrote the book on this stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Everything that we living through, we just pawns in somebody else's game, bro.
That's it, man. Yeah.
We just pawns in somebody else's game.
Yeah.
I've had so many arguments. I mean, a lot of my white friends, I don't even mess with them no more. I don't mess with them no more. Because, you know, first of all, I don't like people disrespecting me and thinking I'm something Joe Schmo that you want me to think like you. That's the educational system.
Right.
To try to get black people to think like you. See, I'm not that guy, bro.
Right.
See, I'm that N-word that don't slide so easy, bro. Friend or no friend. That's just me. And I told him, brother, you don't, you know, you disrespecting me and you don't even know it. You're trying to make me believe in bullshit and you don't even know it. So in essence, you don't know me.
Right.
So if you don't know me, I don't need you as a friend. Go kick rocks.
Gotcha.
That's just me, bro. Black or white or other, Asian, Hispanic, I don't care.
Yeah.
But that's me. I like my own world.
Right.
I don't Steve, let me
sorry, go ahead. No, I was gonna tell them I didn't even think it was. I don't even think we're gonna make it to an election, to be honest with you.
You might be right. It's a long way away.
What do you think?
You might be right.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You know, with this Putin thing, and you know, because you know they take it to war, then that forfeits the election. Won't be no election. So the way they push and all this propaganda with China, and they talking about it's a goods shortage, but you got stuff coming over from China and Mexico every day, goods and services. So that's a lie within itself.
If China wanted to, they could hold the world hostage. If China wanted to, they could be the ultimate warrior of the world. You dig?
Yeah.
All we have to do is, I ain't making your stuff no more. The whole world will go broke.
And it's a money grab, so they're not gonna let that happen.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
This China stuff and this Russia stuff is another way to keep people afraid.
That's it. That's it.
Another way to keep people afraid. That is why I'll say I look at the news and I don't do nothing scoffing. Like, really, I'm not afraid.
Right.
I'm not afraid, man. Just like when the COVID thing was out, I would tell people I'm not afraid.
If I'm going to
die, I'm going to die on my own conditions. I'm not taking something that hasn't even been tested, and I'm not about to be a guinea pig for nobody. I'm not telling nobody else what to do.
Right.
But I know how many years it takes for something to be tested before they start giving it to human beings.
Yeah, and perfected. Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're talking about 6, 7, 8 years. Yeah. We're not talking about 6, 7, 8 days or months. No, I'm not doing that, brother. I never trusted that. Now, I'm not saying the stuff is bad. I'm not saying it's good, this, that, and the other. I'm just don't want to be in that because that sounds like a part of everything else that was going on.
Right.
That's just me, though.
Yeah, me too. I didn't get it. But you know, I'm cool.
I'm just saying, if somebody got it, that's you. Like friend of mine. Hey man, well, I hope you don't die. No, son of a, I hope you don't die. I hope nothing happened to you. I keep my now. If something happened to me, it happened to me. I mean, what can I do about it? But I'm not finna go off somebody's word. And we already see, if anybody been paying attention, if you do enough research, you've seen so many things happening. The aftermath of this that's not talked about in the news.
Nope.
So that's all I'm saying about that. Yeah. But what my man, what you have a question for me?
Oh, I did. So a lot of people don't know that you're really heavy into boxing. And I always wanted to know, I know you went professional wrestling, but you know, why didn't you pull the trigger on, going professional boxing?
Well, boxing here, I used to box down at the PABA back when I was a kid, but I never dreamed of being a professional boxer or a professional wrestler. I didn't come up wanting to be any of those things. I wanted to be a professional football player. That's what I wanted to be. So people always ask, man, who were your heroes when you was wrestling? I ain't got no heroes. I was just fan. Never wanted to be a boxer or a professional wrestler. I just happened to gravitate that way. But when I was a kid, man, my biggest sport was I either wanted to be a football player or a race car driver.
Oh, really? Wow.
Okay.
Those are my heroes.
Gotcha.
Other than, I was a big fan of wrestlers and, like Muhammad Ali and stuff like that. Who isn't a fan of his? But, as far as want to be them and walk in their footsteps, I never thought about that. I wanted to be AJ Foyt, Al Unser, Richard Petty.
Okay.
I want to be people like that, and I wanted football, an array of people, you know what I'm saying? That's what I dreamed about as a kid, man. But, it never happened, but I got to meet so many of my heroes. I've gotten to meet so many of my heroes through the years, and professional wrestling gave me a chance to do that. So it all went full circle, man.
Is that how you met Trump? Through wrestling?
I met him at the WWE Hall of Fame.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to try to get my toy out before the show and show you I got the action figure for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I met him there. He even took pictures with my boys and I, stuff like that. Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger was there that day. So it was like, that is why I'm saying, man, I mean, when it comes to a political party, they don't let anybody in, bro. I mean, you see Trump on trial right now, going through all the stuff he's going through. But George Bush attacked the nation and said that nation had weapons of mass destruction that didn't have anything to do with 9/11 or anything. And how many people died? How many innocent people died? You notice nobody talks about that?
No.
You notice that? Yeah. How you have to come up with other stuff to make people forget about what's really going on. But you know why he'll never be brought up for war crimes? Which he should be, in my opinion, and many others too. Because he in the clique, baby.
Yeah.
He's an untouchable.
Yeah.
He's untouchable, baby. His family go way back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. George Bush is skull and bones, brother.
Yeah, I know about the skull and bones. Yeah.
That's a elite group of people that goes back to the either late 1700s or early 1800s, bro. Brothers by blood.
Well, I heard all of them were.
Who's that?
Every president was related in some way.
I don't know if that. I've heard that too in some way, shape, or form. But I'm talking skull and bones is something you have to join.
Right.
Something you have to join. And it goes way back. And so many people in politics have been skull and bones. I'm talking about actual mental. When I say brothers by blood, I'm talking about that is what skull and bones say about themselves. That we're brothers by blood. And they all cut for each other.
Yeah. I heard Jesse Jackson was skull and bones. I don't know how, allegedly. I don't know how true.
I don't know if there are any black people in skull and bones.
Really?
I don't know if there's any. No, I don't. This is straight up white folks.
Yeah. Okay.
This go way back, man. Way back. And if they ever start letting black folks in, hell, the Mormon church didn't even let start black folks in until the 70s. You telling me skull and bones letting them in?
Right. Right.
Good point. I'm trying to figure out why somebody black want to be anyway. That's a whole nother story. But I'm just saying, man. But no, man, skull and bones. It's like Prescott Bush, old man's Bush, old man. Prescott Bush, whose bank that he was over financed the Nazis. Now, how that work?
Wow.
Prescott Bush, after World War II, got Richard Nixon into big time politics.
Wow.
Through an ad in the paper. 4 or 5 years later, Richard Nixon is the vice president of the United States of America with Eisenhower. And you just got here. Now, you see how this works?
Yeah, I see it.
1960, he runs for president against John F. Kennedy. Barely loses. John F. Kennedy gets his head blown off. 1969, who runs for president again? Richard Nixon, and wins.
Yeah.
Then the Warren Commission that oversaw the JFK murder. We found nothing that said Lee Harvey Oswald didn't do this by himself. Really? With a $15 gun, with a bad scope, and a car moving slightly.
As far as he was away. I mean, come on, man.
A car moving away from you and to the left. Do you know Carlos Hancock couldn't even make that shot and he tried it? Do you know who Carlos Hancock is?
He don't. I do though. He's a Marine. One of the greatest.
Exactly. Gunny Hancock.
Yeah.
Do you know Gunny Hancock didn't even do it?
Wow.
So you telling me Lee Harvey Oswald can shoot better than Carlos Hancock? Whose job was to go the enemy, top brass. Carlos Hancock's job was to go and assassinate them.
Stud. He's the most
enemy.
He's the most decorated sniper ever in history. He got the confirmed kills.
Yeah, I've seen him on a couple of shows.
And I'm proud to say he's one of my Marine Corps brothers. So, you know, I mean.
So you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Now, okay, you've been in the military, right?
I was.
Yes.
You were in the Marines?
Correct.
Okay. Lee Harvey Oswald was in the Marines. A lot of people don't know that. He was in the Marines. Okay. Lee Harvey Oswald. You ever seen that movie Full Metal Jacket?
Yes, love that movie.
How they interview everybody and see what are you best for when you go through your training.
Right.
Lee Harvey Oswald was a radar guy. Radar. And worked at a top secret air base in Japan. Top secret for the CIA. Now, if you're in the military, how do you get picked to work at a top secret Air Force and you can shoot so good that you're not infantry? How does that work? I don't need, if you can shoot that good, I don't need you in no top secret Air Force base. I need you out here killing folks.
Right.
which means what? You can't shoot that good.
Right.
That's why you're over here being a radar guy.
Because in the Army, he definitely been a sniper.
The guy had an IQ of 100 and, I don't know, 50. I don't know. The guy was sharp. The guy spoke fluent Russian. Fluent. I didn't say he spoke Russian. Fluent Russian. To the point where he met his Russian wife, she thought he was Russian. But that's the guy that can shoot a gun, a raggedy gun at that, so good. But I'm leading up to this. They do the Warren Commission, find out that he did this by himself, this, that, and the other. You know, who was one of the main guys on the Warren Commission? Gerald Ford. Anybody remember Gerald Ford?
Yeah, I remember President Gerald Ford.
Yeah.
Yes. See how that worked? See how that worked? When you work, when you do the right thing, you get rewarded.
There you go.
Because when Richard Nixon resigned, Gerald Ford wasn't the vice president. Spiro Agnew was the vice president. Then you ask yourself, how did Gerald Ford get in here? How do you think? Because we take care of our own, bro.
There you go. Quid pro quo. There you go.
So that's why I say it's Donald Trump is not, in essence, brother, just like the mob, brother, you're not one of us. You invited you in, you did what you had to do. You ain't one of us, bro. Because them guys, the real guys, don't nothing happen to them, bro. Nothing.
Nah. Nope.
Nothing.
Not at all. I still think Jeffrey Epstein alive, you ask me.
Might be.
I heard those dental records wasn't even his.
Might be. But the thing is, baby, you got dirt on people.
Yeah. Big people.
I believe this. I do believe this. If he's not alive, if he is dead, that's the outcome. That's the outcome. When you in that world, people don't realize that world is something that we can't even fathom.
Right.
That's a world of the elite, bro. And you either in or you're not.
Yeah. They show it to us through movies, as I stated earlier. They put those things out through movies.
And books.
Which we definitely not going. Half of Black America. They definitely,
because the thing about a movie is this. It can only give you so much. Because you got to realize something. The CIA and the people that really run this country oversee movies also. You can only do so much. Much. And if it's not approved, it don't go nowhere. If it's not approved, it don't even get made. Because you could be embarking up on something that you shouldn't be embarking upon. You like the movie that was made about 9/11. It wasn't made anything about some of the conspiracy theories that people have actually proven. It was based on how the government wanted you to see 9/11.
You're talking about Fahrenheit, correct?
No. That's a documentary. I'm talking about the movies.
The movies? Okay.
The movies that they did about like the one with Nicolas Cage and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Those movies, they only, even if you see a movie about JFK, it's only about how the government has put that narrative out there.
That was a good movie, though. That JFK movie.
But see, that's a different one. I'm not talking about the JFK movie that Oliver Stone did.
Okay,
I'm talking about everything before that.
Okay.
See, Oliver Stone was giving you the theory of the DA of Louisiana, Jim Garrison. He was giving you his theory from Jim Garrison's investigation. Great movie, though. I agree with you 100%. Great movie. But it didn't say anything emphatically. It was putting it out there as this may have happened this way.
Right. Crazy.
Yeah. I'm just saying, look at the top, read between the tea leaves. Look at everybody that was involved in that. They on top. They got their bag, baby.
Oh yeah.
They got their bag. Because you was a trooper and you did what you were supposed to do.
That's right.
You don't come over here and pimp on everybody.
No. You know, a lot of people in this country didn't even know that Time magazine gave Adolf Hitler Man of the Year. Man of the Year, man.
Yeah. And you notice that's never talked about.
Never talked about.
Wow.
Only the atrocities.
Mm-hmm. Man of the Year. Jeez.
Only the atrocities. But hey, man, that's a whole nother world, brother. That's a world. That's a world that it just makes me wonder, bro. It just makes me wonder. That's all. It makes me wonder.
Good talk.
Anything else?
Promote what you got going on.
Huh? Actually, I've been working on my book more than anything, man. And that's about it. I'm pretty excited about that. And had a couple of other projects going on, but you know, they didn't work out. And now I'm working on putting a new podcast together, actually. And I'm going to call it 3 the Hard Way.
Okay.
And yeah, so we'll be tackling some professional wrestling, because on my 2 podcasts I talk about wrestling a little bit, but I don't really do a wrestling podcast where I'm talking about the ins and outs of what's going on in professional wrestling.
Yeah,
I'm not a mark, so I can't talk about a business that I used to be in, you know what I'm saying? Not to it, but I do in, you know, how many times can you tell the stories and stuff like that? So I want to create something for people, but I want to do it from, I want to do it more professional.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it with a couple of other guys. But I want to do it more professional so we can really get down into the depths and try to make people see professional wrestling in a different way than what they're getting, you know what I'm saying, from some of the other podcasts out there. And we still can kind of bring guests on, because I'm trying to do a deal with AEW. So I can bring a lot of their guys on the show and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And, you know what I'm saying, and make it fun and make it controversial, and, you know, the whole thing. Right. That's what I'm working on right now.
Hey, now you guys won the tag team champions 10 times. Did you get to keep those belts? You have any at home? No,
I wouldn't want to keep them raggedy ass belts. I wouldn't have that raggedy shit in my house, man. No.
Okay.
Stevie Ray.
I mean, you could have made replicas and stuff like that. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I never sweated that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because wrestling to me was just a job. It was just a job. I didn't care about the belts and all that kind of stuff, because, you know, I mean, being a champion and all that stuff is cool, but having a belt in my game room had pictures of me, had things that, you know, like that I have been honored with and stuff like that, plaques and stuff like that, and different pictures of different people I hadn't met. And that was the only room you would see any wrestling in my house.
Gotcha.
That was the only room. You know, ain't no big picture of me over the fireplace, you know, and, you know, stuff like that. And
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm just cut from a different cloth, bro. I'm just like, things that a lot of people admire and do, I don't really care about, bro.
Yeah.
Because I don't really dwell on yesterday. I always tell people my job is today and tomorrow. You know, especially when I go out and talk to young people and stuff like that, you know, and do my personal appearances and stuff like that. I get off on that. I get a lot of pleasure out of it.
Yeah.
I really do. And yesterday was cool, but I always believe tomorrow is going to be better.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
All right. We didn't talk wrestling much. I usually don't hold anybody no longer than an hour. But in closing,
I mean, I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Give some advice to a young buck that's trying to get into business. What would you tell him?
I would tell him go find a job anywhere else but professional wrestling. That's what I would tell him. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I would say that things have changed so much. And try to find a reliable school and try to find to be trained by someone of reputable, you know, taste and things like that. That's what I would tell them, because that's the key. That's the key. What did you get your tutelage?
Right.
What did you get your tutelage? What do you know? So it all depends geographically on where the people are, so on and so forth.
Territory.
Or if he's going to go somewhere else. Because a lot of these things, you got to realize professional wrestling is just like everything else today. A money grab.
Mm-hmm.
The people training you.
Yeah.
It's a money grab.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been a money grab in some way, shape, or form. Somebody trying to make a living at training somebody, just like a boxing school or karate school or anything else. But they were reputable people. Now you got people that ain't never did nothing in this business.
And getting people hurt. I saw with my own eyes.
Right.
At the school I was at. I'm like, what? That's not how you take a bump. What is this dude doing?
So that's what I'm saying. It's the money grab, and it's just like the blind leading the blind.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of times I really don't have a lot of, patience for, like I said, doing podcasts, because the people don't even know the questions to ask. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then I get frustrated and I'm going off on the person, you know what I'm saying? And I have to catch myself, man, because it's like, I have to tell myself, this kid don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why you don't see me doing a lot of podcasts and things of that nature, because it's really the way I've taken professional wrestling. It's really, and then people ask me things that I can't even remember.
Right.
The people know more about my career than I can remember.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody asks me something, it'll jog something in my head, and then I go, oh, yeah. But, bruh, I never brought professional wrestling home with me.
Good. Okay.
Not one day.
Gotcha.
Not one single solitary day. When I come home, the last thing I'm thinking about is wrestling. And I never really had, other than a few people, relationships with.
In the business.
Wrestlers. Yeah. Okay. Whereas we are friends to this day. Only a few people that we're friends and still talk to this day. Only a few. Other than that, I love those guys. I work with those guys. I really have the utmost respect for all the people that I worked with in professional wrestling, but I've never had a real relationship with 99% of them.
Oh, wow. Are you cool with Ron Simmons?
Yeah, I'm cool with a lot of people.
Okay. Gotcha.
I ain't say I wasn't cool with anybody. I'm cool with everybody.
Gotcha.
But what do we got in common other than wrestling?
Yeah.
Other than wrestling. How much wrestling can I talk about?
Right.
Now, I don't know how much they can talk about it, but I know how much I can talk about.
Yeah.
So I should no disrespect or slight on nobody. It's just I'm cool. I'm cool with it. Yeah, Ron took care of me and my brother when we first came up to Atlanta. Ron, I got the utmost respect for Ron. But I'm just saying, we see each other at conventions and stuff like that every now and then, but I don't have a real relationship with them.
Okay.
Not like that. We call each other and say hi and stuff like that all the time. No,
yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
No. You keep in contact with them cats, the Ebony Experience still?
Ebony Experience. That was
me. Them. That's him and his brother.
I keep in contact with. Matter of fact, one of the guys I used to work with, me and him I stay in contact with a lot of the guys that I used to work with on social media.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On social media, like me and Alex Parteau, he was in Global with us, and back in the day, so we all kind of came up together, and Bradshaw, my brother and I, Alex Parteau, we all came up together in Texas. Okay. So those guys, I still stay in touch on social media. If I stay in touch with anybody, it's on social media more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So social media is good for that.
Gotcha. I rode the plane home from St. Louis to Phoenix with the Honky Tonk Man, and that's where he lives. He talked me the entire flight. Good guy, love him to death. We took pictures, we laughing and shit, having drinks on the plane, but he's very interesting, man. Very interesting.
Honky Tonk is a good dude, man.
Yeah, he is.
He's a good dude, bro. Yeah, he's a good dude. Funny as hell.
Hell yeah.
He's a good dude, man. That's a good guy because he stays out. I think he stays in Phoenix, right?
I don't know if he stay out here in Phoenix.
Yeah, I think he does.
I didn't even think that. I know Austin Warrior stayed out here.
Yeah, I think he stays in Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a school teacher.
Oh, really? He was coming from a show or on
probably coming from a convention.
Yeah, a convention. Yeah, that's what it was, a convention. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of those guys do a lot of conventions. I don't even like doing conventions anymore.
Really?
I mean, I do maybe 1 or 2 a year. That's it. That's all I can stomach. That's all I can stomach. Because it's not the same anymore.
Yeah, no.
It's just a lot of people. Conventions used to be about legends. It's not about legends anymore. It's about people that's on the indie circuit, the girls that Instagram, that's doing the Instagram thing, and nothing against nobody making their hustle, but I'm just like saying it's not what I'm used to.
Right.
And I'm not one, like Ernest Miller, hit me up, we talk all the time. Hey man, I'm going to this convention. Well, why don't you come, man? This guy was asking me about it. I'm like, no, no. I'm not to give nobody my whole weekend for a couple of bucks.
Right.
I don't do it. I mean, I still do a lot of local stuff and get paid for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to fly all the way across the country for 2-3 days, and I can make that here at home for a few hours. Just leave the house and come back home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And make $500. $500, and I ain't gave you but a couple hours of my time. If you see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't interest me, other than seeing the guys and hanging out and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And which is always good to see your contemporaries, man.
Right.
But hell, like I said, it's sitting at a table for 4-5 hours. You know what I'm saying? And the money is not like it used to be because it's so many people there. You know what I'm saying? It used to be for legends. And then people came out and seen the legends, or the people that have put the wrench time in, Nothing against a lot of young guys that's doing it now, because like I said, they ain't legends. Some of the guys just work on YouTube and stuff like that. And like I said, some of the girls, they Instagram and, they dress, kind of scantily clad. And like I said, I ain't got nothing against that. Get your hustle.
Yeah.
But it just don't have that same energy like we used to have when we did the conventions, a few years ago. So everybody is a star now.
Wow.
Everybody, even if you got nothing in the business. And the little young guys that come up to, they're stars to them. And God bless them, man. God bless them. I just can't sit around and, I just can't do it.
Your era will never be repeated again.
What was that?
Your era will never be repeated again. WCW, that era, it'll never exist again, man. I don't even watch wrestling anymore, to be honest with you.
I hear that from so many people. Say, man, when you guys were doing it, it was so exciting. Now it's just this. And I don't know what a fan sees, but when you're from another era, it's just like everything else. Professional wrestling is no different from any other sport out there. Basketball, baseball. I think baseball might be the only thing that's still kind of tradition. But, as things move forward, people's thought patterns change. People wants and want nots, change. So you got to change with the times.
Yeah.
So professional wrestling now is what I call cookie cutter. I'm a big auto racing fan. Auto racing is cookie cutter. If you see football now, everybody wants a mobile quarterback, a black quarterback. When back in the day, a black quarterback couldn't even get on the field. Now everybody wants one.
Yeah, we need one.
No, I'm just saying everybody. So what I'm saying is, when I was coming up watching football, each team had its own identity.
Right.
Each team had its own identity. Now everybody's trying to be like the team that's successful.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Everybody wants to be, like basketball had to change the rules because they want to put more points up there. So that's why I always ask people, how can you compare Michael Jordan, that was 6'6", 199 pounds, to a guy like LeBron James, 6'9", 265 pounds?
You can't. There will never be another Michael Jordan.
You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is 199. I say if LeBron James played in that era, he would look like King Kong. So, oh no, he wouldn't be tough. I'm like, I don't have an ounce of body fat on me, and I got shoulders like Hercules Hernandez. How can you hurt me? The heaviest guy in the NBA was 260 pounds back then.
But they played different.
Guy that moves like a gazelle at 265. That's unheard of. That's the evolution of man. You can never take something from yesterday and bring it to the day, and it's going to be the same.
Right.
You can't take a Corvette from 1984 and put it out there against a Z06 today with a flat plane crankshaft making almost 700 horsepower that you can drive on the street and still get 26 miles to a gallon. Nothing ever goes backwards other than Toodle Turtle. Everything goes forward. That's in any sport. That is the evolution of man. Back in the early 80s, Carl Lewis was the fastest guy in the world. You know what he ran 100 in? 9.998. Today, Usain Bolt, 9.5.
Yeah.
Do you know how far 9.5 is from 9.8?
Yeah.
When you moving 27, almost 30 miles an hour, that's an eternity.
Right.
So that is why I always ask people, why is Michael Jordan the exception? If you know anything about sports.
He didn't have.
I always ask the questions people don't ask.
Well, he let me be the play devil's advocate for.
No, this ain't devil's advocate. This is put straight up. This ain't devil's advocate. Just give me what make your case why, as to the fact, how can Michael Jordan go through the exception? How is he the exception of every athletic prowess that's ever been done?
He played in a time where if you sneezed on somebody, they call a foul. If you sneeze on LeBron right now, they'll call a foul. LeBron couldn't play in that era.
You're still not proving the point.
No, he could have.
You talking about the rules of the game.
Yeah,
the rules of the game. Well, the guys in the 80s, the guys in the 60s would complain about the guys in the 80s. If you want to put it like that. Like I say, take your emotions out of it. I'm talking facts. I'm talking about physical facts. Human beings, human anatomy, human science does not go backwards.
No.
It always goes forward. You can never take yesterday's athlete and make him in today's athlete. Never. In any sport. I don't care what the rules are. Because you have to realize something. You look at women today, everybody walking around with a little bitty waistline and a big fucking ass. 30 years ago, women wasn't built like that. Why is that? You ever ask yourself that?
Why do y'all look alike now? Why all the women?
No. Listen to what I'm saying. 30 years ago, okay, women were slim, fit, so on and so forth. Now today, everybody got big tits and a big ass. What happened to the evolution of the woman, the African-American woman today? Because nobody was built like that 30, 40 years ago. Now every woman like that is built. You ever ask yourself that?
I have.
That is the evolution of the female anatomy. It does not go backwards. It goes forward. These are just scientific principles.
Along with surgery, I might.
No, I ain't even talking about them.
Oh, you're talking about the natural women.
That's a very minute number of people. When you're talking about 45 to 47 million people of African-American descent in this country. Like I say, brother, I'm going to just give it to you straight. This is what I do. This is what I do. I ain't talking about a rule.
Right. Because
what I'm saying is an athlete, especially an elite athlete, can adapt to anything. It is harder to not touch you than it is to touch you. Would you agree with that? It's harder to play without touching you than it is to play if I can check you. That's football or basketball. How can I stay with a wide receiver that runs 4.3 seconds and got the moves of a jackrabbit and I can't touch him? I can't even hit him. But you want me to be like Deion Sanders.
Or Earl Campbell. That was my man.
No, I'm talking about cornerback. A cornerback has to cover the jackrabbit.
Mm-hmm.
But see, back in the day, I used to could touch the jackrabbit. Now I can't touch him no more. So what I'm saying is, as good as the Deion Sanders was, do you really think Deion Sanders would be the same player today as he was back in the late 80s and early 90s?
They changed the rules.
No, they changed the players. The players are faster. The game is faster. The quarterbacks are quicker. The thought pattern from mind to set up is faster. Everything is move. Whereas back in those days, the quarterback dropped back. He was under center more than he was in the shotgun. Do you know Joe Montana never did the shotgun? Once in his life? Do you know he never did it once in his life? No, brother, these are the conversations I get into. You want to talk sports? I'm your guy. Because I don't talk the bullshit that you see on ESPN. Ain't no everybody today, if you look at the game today, every top guy that was in the All-Star game the other day, if he had played in the 80s and 90s, would be a superstar because that's how good he is physically now. And not only that, I can shoot the ball from half court and make it. I can shoot the ball from half court. I'm that good. And people talking about defense. How can you defend a guy that can shoot the ball from 25 feet? How? You can't. You'd be blown up by the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Evolution does never go backwards, bro, in anything. You know, ask Albert Einstein. Go ask him. What yesterday is better than what's today? Tell me one thing. Tell me one. That's all I'm asking. Either one of you. Medicine? Medicine yesterday is better than medicine today.
Well, food yesterday is better than food today.
Depends on who's eating it. Depends on who's eating it.
Or who's cooking it, huh?
You know, I'm just saying. Nothing. Now, it might taste, but it might not be as good for you.
Right.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Might not be as good for you. But it's no accident that there's a fucking McDonald's on every corner.
Right.
What about mental toughness?
What about it?
How?
Why do you need it when you don't have to have it?
What about some sports like combat sports like boxing and wrestling?
You honestly think a 215, 16-pound Muhammad Ali would do pretty good against a 252-pound Lennox Lewis?
Ooh. Oof. Whoa. Oh.
I'm not saying.
What I'm saying is he might be good, but he won't be as good as he was then.
Right.
I'm just telling the truth.
That was a good one.
So I'm just telling the truth. So 215-pound, you seen. I mean, Muhammad Ali's still probably the most gifted boxer to ever box. But the evolution of human anatomy.
Yeah.
The evolution of human anatomy does not stop. And it ain't going to stop for me. It ain't going to stop for y'all.
That's
it's
right.
not.
You're right.
That's all I'm saying. I'm taking nothing away from yesterday. But what I'm saying is when people try to bring up this analogy that a guy from yesterday, just because they see other athletes, just because the guy was a world-class athlete, still does not mean he knows anything about the evolution of man because his emotions involved in it. And the people will always put their era over anybody else's era. Hell, I'm in the wrestling business. I hear my contemporaries doing the shit every day. Oh, man, we did this, we did that. Yeah, we did that, but we can't fuck with these little young suckers today. We wouldn't be able to. It's a whole nother game. It's not a big man's game anymore.
Yeah. No, definitely not. See,
I'm just telling it like it is. And that's me. I'm talking about myself. Because I'm just saying nothing goes backwards. If that's the point, people are going to stop watching. They're going to stop watching. They're going to stop watching. It's no accident. I might have said this on who was that I had the boxing debate with? Was that you? Or that you?
On my show. It was on my show.
That was your, okay. I have this argument with people about Floyd Mayweather. And when you say what Floyd Mayweather would have did back in the day against the Sugar Ray Leonards and the Tommy Hearnses and the Roberto Durans and all these kind of people.
Okay.
I say, this is the thing. I think he would have did well against those guys. But those guys wasn't flat-footed Hispanic fighters. Like the majority of the guys that he fought once he became a 147-pound champion. Tommy Hearns would kill you.
Oh, yeah.
At 147. Sugar Ray Leonard was the meanest dude in boxing. People just didn't believe because he smiled all the time. That was a mean son of a bitch, man. I mean, mean. And Roberto Duran will bite your ear off, bro. You know, Benitez. All these guys, they were killers. The thing that was smart, that smart Floyd Mayweather did, to me, avoid the killers. Avoid the killers. Fight the Juan Marquez's. Ask him to come up from 135 to 147. Fight him. You know, fight the Ricky Hattons of the world. You know what I'm saying? A blowed up 135-pound fighter fighting at 47 that couldn't deal with speed and a jab. Fight those guys. Fight the Robert Guerreros of the world. Nobody knows him.
He fought, he fought a few killers early in his career, like
Robert. No. I said, okay, listen to me. I said 147 and up.
Okay.
I'm not talking about at 135 or 130. Once he became a made man, when Oscar De La Hoya made him a made man. Before that, he was just a good fighter on HBO that nobody was paying to see. There's levels to this stuff.
Right.
So once I become the made man, even when you're going out, this is another argument I have with people. Every champion, when they're going out, they always give one up-and-coming young guy a shot. Everybody did it. Everybody did it. Floyd Mayweather was the only person to never do it. Never did it. But nobody talks about that. You got to hold those things against people because it's traditional. Even in pro wrestling.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Even in your sport, they turn it over. They hand the torch.
You got to bring up somebody to be the next cash cow or try to be, you know, attempt to be.
Right.
You never did it. In your last fight, who you fight? Andre Berto, who got been knocked out by everybody. And people ask me, well, Andre Berto was African-American fighter. Yeah, but he got beat up by all the Hispanic fighters. That don't even count. But what about a Sean Porter? I mean, or Keith Thurman? Those guys were ranked in his division at that time.
He ain't gonna do that.
No, okay. But see, if you put it in that context, he ain't gonna do that. Then how can you call yourself the best? Your worst that you just said right now. He ain't gonna do that.
Nah.
A real champion, you don't say that about.
No.
So a real champion ready to die in the ring.
So who's the face of boxing right now? Would you
probably
say
Canelo?
Would you
probably Canelo?
So do you think Canelo's gonna do that?
He's doing it now. He's been doing it.
So
but the thing about Canelo that you can always get him, he always moved up and challenged himself.
All the
way. Huh?
But the Charlos are not killers. They're not.
No. You're missing my point. The thing I can say about Canelo, he always moved up to challenge himself way before he fought the Charlos. You know, he went all the way up to 75. He went all the way up to 75, even though he lost. I got to give him kudos for that. You fighting a 175-pound man and you're a 165-pound man. That 175-pound man probably walk around damn near 200 pounds. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
Now, if you had to beat him, it would have been a hell of a task. But I think the guy took it easy on him. Even the great Canelo, you can only go up so far. But Canelo has fought top guys. He fought top guys. Now
he ducked a lot of guys too, though, Stevie. He did.
Wait a minute.
Like Andrade, he ducked Boo Boo.
Demetrius Andre, I'm gonna put Demetrius Andre in the same category as some of the African American fighters that Floyd didn't fight. He wasn't going to draw money. He wasn't going to draw money.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he wasn't. I ain't got nothing against Andre, but he wasn't going to draw money. But we saw what happened to him when he got in there with somebody. He wasn't as good as we thought he was, or some people thought he was, because he hadn't really beaten or fought anybody at a top tier level yet and defeated him, even though he was undefeated. So it's still a big difference. It's just like they saying Boots Ennis should fight Crawford. For what? You're undefeated, but you haven't beaten anyone. So it'd just be me putting my reputation, my money, and everything on the line for a very skilled fighter. Any dividends in that? No. So I beat you and your career over pretty much.
Right.
You beat me. I don't get the big bag that I'm supposed to get for whooping everybody's ass in 40 fights. And I'm going to jeopardize that? Economically, it doesn't make sense. I'd rather go fight King. I'd rather go fight King Kong, get thrown in the ocean, and make 40 million than fighting the Boots Ennis and maybe lose everything and don't get nothing. I mean, I'm just being honest, bro. Because we know this is not about, we know it's not about competition all the time. A lot of it is about business.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I say I admire Floyd Mayweather for his business prowess. But when it was time for you to help out one of the young brothers coming up, you chose not to. I can't give him kudos for that, man. Not in your last fight. I can't do it. You're supposed to reach down and pull some of the young guys up, man. I'm just being honest. That's all.
Yeah.
But none of those guys, but like I said, what started this conversation, you can't steal a fight from a Sugar Ray Leonard. You can't steal a fight from a Tommy Hearns. You can't steal a fight from a Roberto Duran or Marvin Hagler. You got to fight. You couldn't go through that era of fighting and not fight because you would get killed. Them guys didn't believe in nothing but murder. Murder. Whereas the flat-footed Hispanic fighter like the Robert Guerreros of the world, or who else did he fight? Marcus Madonna. Who did Marcus Madonna? I've seen Mir Khan beat the shit out of Marcus Madonna. But he in the ring with Floyd Mayweather for 2 fights. 2. And the fans voted. The fans voted for him to fight Amir Khan.
Yeah. I'm
not saying he was going to win or lose, but the fans wanted to see him fight Amir Khan. He fought Madonna again. I'm like, wait a minute, man. The fans want you to fight Amir Khan. I mean, you got to take points away. I ain't gonna say points, but you know what I'm saying. If you're a fan, you fought Madonna already. I mean, come on, brother. That was a good fight. But the second fight was, oh my God, a snooze. What they call a proverbial snoozer. Snoozer. But I think Canelo is still the cash cow because he's drawing the most money.
Yeah, right now, for sure.
He's drawing the most money. And he's taking that Floyd Mayweather. I think he's doing a Floyd Mayweather type gimmick, but with tougher fighters. You know, because he did fight Danny Jacobs. And he did fight Kovalov. You know, these were good fighters. And he did fight Triple G 3 times. And you know, I would like to see him fight Benavidez, though. I would like to see that fight. I don't think he wants that fight. I could be wrong, though.
No.
I could be wrong. I wouldn't want to fight Benavidez. He's too long. And Canelo going to have to come fight this guy. This is not one of the Charlos that talked a good game, but when the bullets got real, Canelo is hard to beat, man. I don't care what people say about him. That dude hard to beat. Who do you think is the cash cow?
Who do I think cash cow?
Yeah.
Canelo right now, but once he leaves, I'm waiting to see who's going to take over for him. if he gets some more fights this year, I think it could be Gervonta Davis. He could be the new face of boxing. He has a huge following.
He got a fight. He got a fight coming up.
That's true.
Who's he fighting? Did they announce who he's fighting?
I think they did. Yeah, they did last week.
Yeah, they announced it last week.
I think they did last week. I did see that.
Who Tank fighting?
I don't know.
That's what they're saying. They're saying he fought. Okay. You normally know that because that's your favorite fighter.
Yeah, Tank is. But you know, I swear to God, I had a million arguments with friends of mine. With the Terrence Crawford and Spence fight. And I even had Reggie Johnson on my podcast, and I even had Ronnie Shields on the podcast.
Oh wow!
And everybody was asking me, who do I think is going to win? I said, brother, I think it's a 50-50 fight, but if I got to choose somebody, it's going to be Terrence Crawford. And nobody went with me, and they said, why? Because I said, this is the thing for me. Every top guy. And this might be an inverted way of looking at stuff. I'm watching this guy on ESPN for years.
Right.
Every top guy that got in the ring with him had the worst fight ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not saying you are a bad fighter, but you had your worst fight against this guy. So I would always ask myself, what is it about Crawford that make people look so bad? And the guy might be undefeated. And it's like, this dude didn't even break a sweat.
Yeah, I think it's his style and that power he got.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's hard to see face value. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you go, he don't look like he working that hard. If you see what I'm saying. So I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Terrence Crawford wins this fight easy.
The Spence fight we're talking, right?
I mean, yeah. I said, I wouldn't be surprised. I said, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I got to lean toward, because like I say,
yeah, they both have agreed to the PBC.
Spence went 12 rounds with Danny Garcia. And he went 12 rounds with Mikey Garcia. And I'm like, wait a minute. Both of these dudes together wouldn't beat Terrence Crawford if there was a tag team, a handicap tag team match. Both of them together wouldn't beat Terrence Crawford. I'm serious. If they tag out every other round, Terrence Crawford would have beat both of them in the same night. I'm serious.
Yeah, he's just too
So
strong.
I'm like, okay, if Spence thinks he's going to back him, how Spence like to back you in the corner and then just tee off on you.
Yeah.
And the guys they welter under that pressure. But I was trying to tell my boys, I said, have you ever seen this dude's footwork and how he counter punches? That's what I was talking about. And I don't know, maybe they just didn't look at boxing the way I look. I like to look at the things that they're not talking about. Look at how this guy moves. And look at how he changed from one side to the other. He's ambidextrous. Whereas most people, if they change to the other side, you're not ambidextrous. You just change into the other side. I say the mind turns into a left-hand fighter. Not the body, the mind. So he can counter off either. It's like you fighting two guys in the same fight. That's hard for any boxer to deal with, bro.
Yeah.
It's one thing turning southpaw. It's another thing when you turn southpaw and you do everything that a southpaw does good. That's hard to deal with, man.
Yeah. So a lot of people had a lot of problems fighting jab judo. They couldn't. So unorthodox with his style.
Right. But this is the thing about Crawford. He can go over either side. And a lot of people have problems with southpaws. Apparently Spence just was trying to get so much get back. Every time he got hit, he wanted to, you know what I'm saying? He was a get back guy.
Yeah.
I got to get you back for hitting me.
Yeah.
And he forgot about the game plan.
Yeah. I don't want to see a part 2 to that.
I do.
Nah. He can't beat Crawford.
I don't think so either.
No.
That fight should have been stopped in the 4th round.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I heard somebody else say that.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought maybe the 6th.
He took a beating, man. Oh man.
Hey,
He took a bad beat, man. It was hard. It was hard to watch after he got dropped the first time.
Brother, did you see his face after that? I was like, that's a man that's been beaten up. And I'm like saying to myself, if I got beaten like that, I don't want no rematch in a few months.
Nah,
I'm not exercising no rematch clause. I'm exercising the get out of the country clause. You know, pay me when I get back home.
Yeah.
Because I think he's mentally defeated.
Right.
Physical, we can see that, but I think he's mentally defeated.
Yeah.
You can hide it, but you know it's still there. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. We're talking about boxing. What do you think about the Brown Bomber, the Bronx? What do they call what's his name? Yeah. Yeah. What do you think? I mean, kudos his achievements, everything he done, but what do you think about as a fighter, as a boxer?
In my opinion, my humble opinion, he's mentally spent. He never got it back after the losses to the Gypsy King. He had the one easy fight against the European guy. And those kind of fights, he's very comfortable.
Yeah.
When he can't get somebody out, especially after the Gypsy King fight, he's done. That last fight against the Australian boy and the New Zealand kid.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Oh, yeah. Parker.
They just fought. Yeah.
Parker.
Yes.
Parker. Yeah. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I have never seen such a lackluster performance. And brother, it's 50 million on the line. 50. I'm gonna tell both of y'all right now. If it's 50 million on the line, I'm telling both of y'all right now, man. I don't want to see you. Because I got to get this paper, man. Y'all got to understand that, bro. Don't get in the way of this 50 million, dog. Yep. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you.
Right.
Because you know they was fighting over there in Saudi Arabia, and he was on the the semi-main, and your boy from England, what's his name? He was in the main event. Joshua. He in the main event. Because they get people ready for this fight that they're gonna have, and each one of them guaranteed $50 million. And I'm gonna let Joseph Parker ride in here from Gilligan's Island and take my money, bro? No. And it was like he didn't even care.
Nope.
Y'all, 50 million, I'm ready to die, bro.
Man.
50 million one night.
We can start training money tomorrow. Yeah.
Not Las Vegas money with 50,000 taxes attached to it. And commissions and all the other stuff they go through. You could have came home, you would have cleared 30-something million. Easy. Maybe 35.
Right.
35 to 38 million. You would have cleared that coming home. I can't let you have that, bro. No. Joseph Parker, if I have to, whatever I had to do, disqualified, I don't care.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to just get beat up like this and then go, well, man, I just didn't have it tonight.
Yeah. Because if he'd have won that fight, he was going to go fight Joshua, and Joshua's going to tear
they were fighting over there.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
50 million guaranteed for both of them.
Now that dude from Nigeria, I don't know his name, the one that fought the Gypsy King, he nice.
Nugano.
I like him, man.
Nice. I heard he was going to fight Joshua now. Is that true?
It is. Yes.
Yep. Wow.
Really? Joshua don't have
Joshua gonna beat this dude like he stole something.
Joshua didn't look bad at his last fight. I'm picking Joshua to beat him too.
Joshua gonna beat this dude like he stole something, bro. I'm telling you right now. Then again, Joshua might ease up on him to make it go a little longer. Because come on, the Gypsy King came in there fat as hell, hadn't trained. I don't know what he was eating. I don't know if he had fell off the wagon or whatever. But the Gypsy King lost that fight, man.
He lost that fight. Oh, yeah, for sure.
He did.
Gypsy King lost that fight. But it sets Nugano up to get some paper that he would have never gotten in the UFC, brother.
No.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Damn, he looks so good. I just saw him train. I said, this dude is chiseled. He's moving.
He's always, but he still don't have the experience to fight a world-class fighter, bro. No. He had the experience to fight a fat, out of shape, didn't train world-class fighter. But you look at Anthony Joshua, you think somebody got a body. This dude here stay in shape. But I don't know if this is still there with Joshua either.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
So I don't know, brother. It's going to be interesting, bro.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting, man.
Now, I always get in an argument with people about this.
What's that?
I don't think Mike Tyson was that good of a fighter when he fought real boxers. He fought the Holyfields. When he fought people that actually boxed, it showed a lot.
Right.
Some people think he's like the best heavyweight ever lived. I personally don't think he is.
Okay, let's talk about the theory of evolution again. When Mike Tyson was coming up, all those guys that he was beating was the guy from the 70s that was coming down. Remember that?
Michael Spinks, all of them.
You know what I'm saying? Not so much as, Michael was just too little. But, you look at all those guys that he fought, the Larry Holmeses of the world, the Pinklin Thomases of the world, who was that?
Yeah. Trevor
Burbicks of the world. Yeah. All those guys were great fighters in the late 70s. But you look at all of them coming down in the mid 80s now. And he made his name off of that. Is what I'm talking about. Guys of yesterday fighting guys of today. You seen that evolution, that 10 to 15 year evolution right there with that Mike Tyson saga.
Right.
Now, when the 90s came around, and he had to start fighting heavyweights from his era. I think that's what you're alluding to. Now, these guys are just as good as you are. Now you got to work for your wins. Now you got to work. Because these are young guys coming up just like you, just as hungry.
Right.
And they're big guys. They're not the old guys. They're the big young guys. And you've seen that. You saw it, and everybody want to blame it on, well, Mike was doing this and Mike was doing that. Dog, Mike Tyson got one way of fighting, moving forward like a Sherman tank. You know what I'm saying?
That's him.
That's Mike.
Yeah.
And you got guys that are, like I say, stay away. Even when he lost in Japan to Buster Douglas.
Yeah.
That was a fighter. That was a real fighter.
Yeah, he fought beautifully. That jab was on time.
And Mike had no answer for nothing the guy did.
Nope.
Now, don't get me wrong. I've heard Mike Tyson was out with the Japanese girls and all this kind of stuff, this, that, and the other.
Yeah, I heard that.
But from a skill set, that might hurt your endurance, but it's not going to hurt your skill set.
Right.
Believe me, brother. I know.
Right.
I'm telling you from experience, okay? I'm not gonna go into it, but I'm telling you from experience. My skill, your endurance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's one thing. I say you're gonna have that in for like maybe 6-7 rounds. The 8th round, that's when you start hitting the wall. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't have it from round 1 to the round he got knocked out in. You know what I'm saying? He could not offset nothing the guy was doing. Nothing. So, and then he had to come and fight. After that, he had some get over fights, and then he had to fight Razor Ruddock. You seen it again with Razor Ruddock.
Yeah.
He barely got by that.
He barely got by with that. We caught him with a nasty one. He was out there.
But when he was going to fight Holyfield,
my man.
When I told I swear to God, this is no lie. I told the whole world Mike Tyson is going to get knocked out. Nobody believed me. Oh man, Holyfield, this, Holyfield. I was like, look, brother, I fly. Me, him, and my brother used to take the 6 o'clock flight from Houston to Atlanta once a month.
You and Holyfield?
Yes, we'd be the only 3 people in first class.
Wow.
6 o'clock, 6 a.m. 6:05 a.m. Because he trains here, but he lives in Atlanta.
Right.
Back then.
Yeah.
And what do you think we was talking about?
Nothing but boxing, probably.
And what do you think he was telling us?
How he gonna knock that boy out?
Exactly.
Is he your height? Is he tall?
No, Holyfield's like 6'2", if that. Maybe They say 6'2", but I think he's more like 6'1.5".
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
But no, Holyfield's not a tall guy at all.
Okay.
Now
yeah,
Lennox Lewis is tall.
Yeah.
Lennox Lewis, he's about my height.
Okay. Yeah, I want to meet both of them. Yeah.
Riddick Bowe, he's tall. I met Riddick in the Atlanta airport one day.
Okay.
George is tall.
Larry Holmes tall too, right?
Larry Holmes, yeah. Larry's about 6'3".
Jeez.
6'3.5".
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, those guys were tall.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think, like I said, I knew I betted so many. I was down in Orlando, Florida, and I wanted to bet some money, but I didn't know how to bet down in Orlando. You know what I'm saying? If I had been home, I could, because I wanted to bet 10 grand when it was 27-1.
Ooh. Ooh, you would have been. Ooh.
No, bro, this is only God truth. I want to bet 10 grand. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how much money. I might have had 30 grand in the bank, you know, at that time. And I wanted to bet 10 grand at 27-1 because every week it was going down. And it ended up like 7-1. But it started out like 30-something-1.
Damn.
Yeah, I would have cleaned up. But anyway, I betted everybody that I wrestled with. Because we down in Disney. We used to be down in Disney or MGM for like 2 weeks taping stuff. You know, like 10, 12 days taping stuff. A lot of that Saturday morning stuff that you used to see.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many people I bet. And I said, knockout, pay double. So we found Ming Haku.
Yeah, I know.
You know him, right?
Yeah.
Well, he stays in Orlando. Okay. He stays in Orlando because we couldn't find nowhere to go watch the fight because I'm not from Orlando. You know what I'm saying? If I was here in Houston, I wouldn't know where to go watch the fight. You know what I'm saying? But I'm in Orlando and we not near any neighborhoods. So I don't know where nothing is, you know, as far as a sports bar or something like that. And nobody could tell me. So, because some of the guys stayed in Tampa and some of the guys stayed in Clearwater, but nobody was from Orlando other than Haku. He stays in Kissimmee, which is, you know what I'm saying, right, you know, where the baseball players go for spring training.
Yeah.
And his neighbor was showing the fight. So he invited me and I can't remember who went with me. It was a couple other guys with me. It wasn't my brother. It was a couple other people. I can't remember who it was that went with me, but it was 3 of us. And Ming gave us the directions. And we came to it was like a guy that stayed 2 houses down from him. And they got a lot of people in this house, man. A whole bunch of people in this house, man. All white folks, except for me and Ming and maybe one of his relatives, which is Polynesian.
Yeah.
But I met everybody. They were big wrestling fans and stuff like that. It was cool. And then Ming said, hey, man, hey, everybody, Stevie Ray is rooting for Evander Holyfield. To all the people in the house and stuff. And they were like, ooh, boo, Mike Tyson. You know, they were all big Mike Tyson fans.
Yeah, everybody was.
I couldn't sit down. So the dude had a 2-story house. So I'm sitting on the steps, okay, that goes up to the 2nd floor. So I'm just sitting there, you know, as the fight going. And everybody, you know, up and down. And they didn't see the fight wasn't going so good. You know, it's kind of like Mike ain't dominating this dude. Slowly but surely, you start to see Randy get the best of him. Randy getting the best of him. I never said a word. I'm just sitting there. Then Mike gets knocked down in like the 5th round. Remember that?
Yep.
Sliding on his ass. That's when the whole house changed. After that, he getting his ass whooped until he knocked him out. And then when the referee stopped it, I never said a word. Never said a word. Everybody looking at me. I ain't saying nothing. I'm just sitting just like this. All the energy left this house. All the energy. So we left. I'm still trying to remember who was with me. A couple other wrestlers, but I can't remember who it was. We left, went back to our hotel. Now, I done bet about 50 guys that I wrestled with. We get to the studio the next morning. You should have seen them all. And I pulled out a piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? you know how the reporters used to do back in the 50s. Okay, I walked in because we had this big old room because we had to start taping early in the morning. Because we was a part of the MGM or Disney thing. I walked in. I say, okay, let me see who I got the list here. Okay, I bet at you 20 knockout pay double. You owe me 40. I bet at you 60 knockout pay double. You got to give me 120. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, brother, I cleaned up. Cleaned up. Never forget it, bro. Never forget it, man. And then my ex was at a fight party here in Houston. And I remember calling her the night, telling her, Haku, I'm going over to Haku's and watch the fight, because she was at a buddy of mine and his wife's house. They was having a fight party. And I say, his name Pete. And I said, you tell Pete and all them people over there that Mike Tyson gonna get knocked out tonight. And then she was on the phone. I heard her say, Stevie say, Mike Tyson gonna get knocked out tonight. And I can hear all them in the background. Boo, shut up. Tell him to stick to wrestling. He don't know nothing about boxing. Tell him to stick to wrestling. He don't know nothing about boxing, Right. She was just laughing. I said, okay, that's it. And when the fight was over, I called back, but she had already got home by then, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'll catch him when I get back to Houston, you know what I'm saying? My boy Pete. We still friends to this day, man. Good friend of mine. Right. He from Jamaica. Good friend of mine. Oh, they couldn't believe it. Shocked.
That was a monumental moment in boxing history.
Was it?
Yes, sir. The great Mike Tyson at that time getting knocked out like that.
I think it would have been a monumental moment if he hadn't been knocked out before.
Man.
Stevie.
Yeah.
It was monumental if you were a Mike Tyson fan. I was the only person up in that area where I lived at. I did not like Mike Tyson, so I was happy to see that because I felt like it was gonna come any day.
Well, I'm like this. This is what I told people. One guy been in jail for 3.5 years, pleasuring himself. Another guy has been out fighting the biggest men in boxing, the 6'5", 6'6" guys. Now he fighting the guy shorter than him. And you ain't ready, brother. Jail. I'm going to tell, this is what I used to tell people. I know too many people been incarcerated, even my brother. Okay?
Yeah.
But I know people that's been incarcerated for long periods of time. My brother wasn't incarcerated for a long, long time, but he was incarcerated.
Yeah.
But when you at the top of the world, it's one thing going to jail when you just a regular schmo. It's another thing going to jail when you at the top of the world at your field. You leave this in jail. There's no way you can bring this out and be the same person, because you went in jail when you were sleeping on silk sheets.
Yeah.
Now you got to defecate while everybody's looking at you. You kidding me, bro? You gonna come out with the same incarceration?
Well, Stevie froze. He froze up for a minute. Hopefully he'll buff back in. But I meant to say monumental moment stuff. I'm thinking of when he fought Buster Douglas. That was a monumental moment when Mike Tyson got knocked out.
Incarceration is not in. But I think a lot of people actually believed that Evander Holyfield could beat Mike Tyson. Nobody thought Buster Douglas could.
Yeah,
it was not even any hype for that fight. You know how much money Evander Holyfield made for that fight with Mike?
What he made, 10 million?
Mike made 33. Evander made 7.
Ooh. Damn.
Yeah. He made 7. You know why? Because right before that, he had just been knocked out by what's his name that I just said a few minutes ago? Riddick Bowe.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Yeah.
So they didn't think he had nothing in the tank anymore. But what people didn't know is he had mononucleosis. When he took that fight against him, he had mononuclear illness.
Oh, wow.
And that shit zaps you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It zaps you of all your red blood cells. And so you don't have, you might think you back, but you're not back.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted him to, postpone the fight. And he didn't want to. Because he said, I think I can knock him out. He did knock him down, but he couldn't get him out because he was so tired. He was so spent. He had nothing left. And that's why Riddick Bowe was able to beat him. So by the time he fought Mike, shit, all his red corpuscles and blood cells and everything was back. Mono was 100% gone. So he was ready. He's ready. And I know because I talked to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had the inside scoop. Yeah, I had the inside. Plus, he's a good friend of mine too. So
he had that big old neck with them shoulders. I was like, damn, man, Holyfield.
Oh man, he used to train down here. Lee Haney used to train him right here in Houston.
Oh, Lee Haney's in Houston?
No, really, Holyfield lived here.
Okay.
Lee Haney used to come here to train him at the weight room. They worked out the same gym me and my brother worked out at.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So his muscles was from learning how to train with weights from the best in the world at bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yeah. That's real talk, brother. But hey, it is what it is, man.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, a lot.
I still think about it to this day.
Oh, I got a lot of big guys out of Texas, man. Ronnie Coleman too.
Yeah, Ronnie Coleman from in that Dallas area.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I met Ronnie back in like 92.
Yeah, I met him maybe like 5 years ago.
Yeah, I remember back in 92. He wasn't the Ronnie Coleman that he became back in 92. But he still was a big guy, but he was just getting out there. You know what I'm saying? He was just getting out there. And one of the guys me and my brother used to wrestle with, trained at that Metroplex gym where he invited us over one day because he used to always just say, man, y'all ought to come over and meet Ronnie Coleman, man. He actually went to school at Grambling with a girl I used to date.
Yeah, he played football at Grambling. Yep.
Yeah. And she was telling me about him. She was telling me about, yeah, that dude, I went to school with him. I was like, where? Because my older brother went to Grambling also.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, it's funny how the world works, man.
Mm-hmm.
Funny.
Yeah.
But hey, man, I hope we got enough. I hope I gave you guys enough content, man.
Oh, man, I appreciate you coming over here on this small platform, gracing me with your presence, man. I really appreciate it.
Hey, man, I appreciate you guys, man.
Yes, sir.
You, out there doing your thing, man. That's how it's supposed to be, bro.
Yeah. Thank you. That's
how it's supposed to be.
Good looking out, Stevie Ray.
But yeah, man, I'm gonna send you that. Hold on, let me see something. Wait a minute, he just sent me something. I heard the theme.
You've got mail.
Okay, he said he heard the theme. I told him to go look the theme up because it was a movie back in the 70s called 3 the Hard Way. Okay. And so I told him I want to name the podcast that we're doing together 3 the Hard Way. And he didn't know. He said, what is that? And I'm like, man, that's a dice term. You know what I'm saying? It's a dice term,
Okay.
You got to make something the hard way. You know what I'm saying? So it was a movie with Jim Kelly, Jim Brown, and Fred Williamson called 3 the Hard Way.
That's right.
And so that's what I said, let's call the podcast 3 the Hard Way, because you're talking about 3 brothers trying to make something happen.
Yeah.
And I say the theme of that movie, they don't know the theme of the movie. They too young to know anything about it. And I said the theme of the movie, no, I was telling Vince Russo this too. And he was like, what was the movie about? Because I was telling Vince about it. And I said, well, the movie is about 3 guys, Jim Brown, Jim Kelly, and Fred Williamson, that's got to stop the evil white guy from killing all the black people in the United States. Man, we gotta do. He was like, no. I said, no, it's true. I said they were gonna put something in the water. They were gonna put something in the water supply, and it don't kill white folks, but it kill all the black people. I said, Jim Brown had to come save the day, man.
Ooh.
Oh my God, me and Russo got such a kick and laugh out of that, man.
Wow.
Great movie, man. When I was a kid, man, that was a great movie, man. Read the hard way.
I'll just check that out. Man. When does your show come on so people can tune into your podcast?
I'm on every Monday and Tuesday live, but then we drop an episode of Black and White every Thursday.
Okay.
Every Thursday. We tape Black and White and we drop them a week later.
Gotcha.
You know, okay. A week or 2 weeks later, something like that. I can't remember now. Yeah, but Black and White, you know, is me and Vince and Straight Shooting with Stevie Ray, as you can see.
Yeah.
I'm in my dungeon right now. This is why I do my magic, man.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Again, man, thank you. I appreciate you so much for coming over here, man.
Really no problem, brother. No problem, man. I appreciate you guys, bro.
Yes,
keep
sir,
up the good work, man.
Thank you.
All right, bro.
All right, man. Take care, brother.
You too.
All right.
Peace. Hey, Stud, it was a good show, man. 2-hour mark.
Hey, man, got a lot of content. Got a lot of reels you can do with that.
Yeah. Yep. You know, I got a freaking oh shucks. Did I hold on?
I'm here.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta figure out how to do that with the reels, with chopping up my reels on here. If I go to my YouTube studio, I should be able to do it in that. Because it's 2 hours. I want to release an hour of it and then release another hour of it. Because you know, people, they can't watch 2 hours. They can barely watch fucking 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, I was just looking at StreamYard and I was playing around with it, man, because I'm gonna go ahead and get my stuff together. I'm gonna actually get in that closet and find my mic. I got the same mic that he got, man, but it's the blue one. It's the blue
Yeti. Yeah.
The blue Yeti, yeah. So it's somewhere in there, man. I got stuff I gotta find, man. I don't know where it's at.
Yeah, and get your headphones too. That way, outside noise and all that distractions, you won't be.
No, I could tell it was an issue with that. You know, you guys had your headphones, but I didn't.
Can you see?
I do.
Sure,
I'm gonna get some back there too. I'm gonna get some back there too. So
okay,
but so we go tomorrow. We go tomorrow.
Me, you,
Coach
the
Pete.
phenomenal Coach Pete talking boxing, and it's gonna be a good show tomorrow, man.
Good to go. What time are we going on?
We are set for 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Yep, but I'll send it to you, man. I appreciate you as always.
No
and
problem.
I'll talk to you tomorrow, bro.
All right, man. One love, man.
Okay, one.
Peace.
Good talk. I want to appreciate everybody for coming in. And thank you for that Cash App. Let me see who sent that Cash App. That was Terry. Thank you for that Cash App. I appreciate you for sending in that. Everything goes towards putting it back in the show. Trying to make it better. But you guys tune in tomorrow, 6 o'clock. We're going to be talking with the first female Olympic boxing coach in history. She was also my boxing coach as well. The phenomenal Gloria Peak will be on the show. So tune in tomorrow. Like, subscribe, share this channel. Again, thank you to the living legend himself. I love the back and forth banter from the OG, the one and only Stevie Ray. I appreciate everybody. Until tomorrow, y'all be blessed and peace.